Silk continued. We examine Earth's death zones. Who can name the most lethal environment? A glowing tendril lifted deep ocean trenches. A bioluminescent student answered. Crushing pressure. Excellent, Zilk replied. Yet humans have explored even those. Another. The polar regions offered a crystalline alien temperatures that freeze gases, yes, and yet again survivable by humans. Micah, tired of being treated like a specimen instead of a person, raised her voice. The deserts. Every head turned. The Sahara can hit 136 degrees Fahrenheit by day and drop below freezing at night. No water, blinding sandstorms, UV levels that cook skin. But my family hikes through the Sonoran Desert. Swimming in oceans, you immerse yourselves in toxic liquid, and camping in thunderstorms, you sleep in conductive fabric during atmospheric electrical discharges, and even her mother's chili, you ingest capsaicin for pleasure. By the end of the lecture, 3 more students had fainted. Zilk had checked his containment seal a dozen times, and Mika had reached a strange kind of fame. Whispers followed her now, Death Worlder. Nightmare world, no exoskeleton. At lunch, she sat alone at a corner table, spooning flavorless paste from a bowl designed to meet multi-species oxygen breather nutritional quotas. Then came a voice. Is it true you can regrow your limbs? Mika looked up, startled. A small, furry alien stood beside her tray, eyes huge, round, and sincere. He looked like a stretched-out hamster with owl-like vision. No, Nika said, surprised to be addressed directly. That's not a human thing. His whiskers drooped, but, you drink poison, right? She smiled despite herself. Some humans drink alcohol. It's technically toxic, but not like lethal. Fascinating. His eyes sparkled. ANMAS, Xenobiology, and Extreme Environments, Major Mika, she replied, human and apparently a walking disaster. Mind if I sit? I've got so many questions about Earth. Is it true you have storms that can lift entire buildings? She blinked. Tornadoes. Yeah, mostly in the Midwest. Ma pulled up a seat, tail wrapping around the leg for stability. And microorganisms inside your body on purpose. Our microbiome, Mika nodded. Billions of them. Helps digestion. Immune support. Unbelievable. Ma's face lit up. Most species consider that a catastrophic infection. They talked through the entire meal. Ma asked about thunderstorms, sunburn, altitude sickness. Mika, used to having her stories dismissed as mundane, now had an audience that found them extraordinary. You know, Ma said as they cleaned up, the Xenobiology Club is taking a field trip next week. Lunk 3 some, neat biomes, floating spore forests, glow-in-the-dark caves. Nothing Earth-level dangerous, but still cool. Sounds amazing, Mika said, brightening. But do you think they'll let me go? Ma grinned. Are you kidding? Professor Zilk's the chaperone? He's been talking about you for days. Who wouldn't want a Death Worlder along on a dangerous trip? She wasn't entirely sure he was joking, but for the first time since her arrival, someone didn't just tolerate her. They wanted her around. Count me in. It wasn't the toxins or teeth or temperature swings that made Earth terrifying. It was the girl who had mastered all of them, and still came out kind. The research vessel was compact and no-nonsense, outfitted with enough safety protocols to withstand the vacuum of space, or at least a very bad field trip. Mika stood in the boarding line with 12 other students, trying to ignore the 2 armed security officers positioned near the hatch. One of them kept glancing at her, with a hand hovering over a stun baton. Maz bounced beside her, eyes owl light with excitement. They've mapped out most of the spore forests and upper caves, but the bioluminescent zones are still partially undocumented, Zilk said. This could be an actual publishable study. Sounds incredible, Nika replied. And it did. The alien world stretched out below them in purples, oranges, and metallic greens, vibrant, foreign, alive. As they lifted off, Mika caught murmurs behind her. Why'd they bring the human? Probably wants to see how it reacts to exposure. They use fungi as drugs, right? She stared out the viewport instead of turning around. The academy shrank below them, a tiny polished scar in the wilderness of Lunx 3. Don't mind them, Mal whispered, sensing her unease. They're just nervous. You're not like the crawl or anything. Mika raised an eyebrow. Who are the crawl? Another Class 5 species eat enemy brainstems to absorb knowledge. That's the rumor anyway. That's horrifying. Ma nodded gravely. That's why nobody wants to share labs with them. You're not like that, right? No, humans don't eat sentient. She lowered her voice. We definitely don't eat anyone's brain. She strategically did not mention Earth's rare but real cannibalistic history. Some things were best left out of interstellar diplomacy. Lunx 3 was stunning. The floating spore forests drifted like enormous lavender dandelions, wafting spores that shimmered in sunlight. Tiny manta-ray-like creatures flitted between them in complex, elegant loops. Professor Zilk's containment sphere hovered at the front, robotic arms extending to collect samples. These spores form complex chemical communication networks, a perfect model for decentralized